You ever watched your kid on the playground and feel your heart break in slow motion? Like they're circling a group of kids like a confused satellite trying to dock with Earth? They've got their Pokemon binder in a death grip, or they're rattling off obscure Five Nights at Freddy's trivia to kids who are mid-game, mid-rhythm, and totally not picking up what your sweet, sweet baby is putting down. And there you are, iced coffee in hand, silently chanting, "Please don't monologue about Minecraft mobs again. Please let this be the time they say yes." Today we're going there. We're throwing a match into the emotional fire pit. So, grab your s'mores ingredients and let's go. Welcome back to Chaos and Caffeine, the ADHD parenting podcast with no shame. And this, my friends, is the social skills campfire, making and keeping friends when your kid has ADHD and the social playbook was absolutely, definitely not written for them. I'm your host, Danielle, your chaos coordinator in chief, ADHD mama, and the one who has probably, absolutely, most definitely cried on a park bench because my kid just wanted anyone to play Beyblades with. I've trained in positive discipline, conscious and mindful parenting, and behavior parent training, but let's be real. My biggest lessons come from watching my child struggle, and sometimes that's socially, and figuring out how to help him dust off, try again, and stay true to his wonderfully weird self. So why are friendships so hard for ADHD kiddos? First up, impulsivity. Let's talk blurting. ADHD kids often say what they're thinking before their brain has time to review it. That's a stupid game. Let's do my idea. And just like that, bam, they've probably lost the group. This could also be acting really, really quickly before we think things through. My kid is very athletic, and a lot of times when we are playing with friends, someone gets hurt. Let's nerd out for a second with some science. Research shows the prefrontal cortex in ADHD brains is much slower to develop. This area controls impulse control, planning, and social judgment. Pro tip, create a think card they can glance at during playdates. A visual with a pause button icon or a silly brain with a speech bubble saying, "Hold up." 2, emotional whiplash. 1 minute they're laughing, the next they're crying because someone chose a different partner in gym. It's like emotional pinball. Science tells us about 70 to 80% of kids with ADHD have emotional regulation challenges. It's not extra, it's central to the diagnosis. Pro tip, try an emotion scale. Visual with faces showing calm, irritated, upset, or meltdown. Teach them to point out how they feel before it becomes a full-blown crisis. You can also model your own emotions by labeling them and letting them know how you feel so that they can start recognizing that within themselves. Third on our list, social cues. What are those? Your child might not catch the look that says, "I'm done with this convo," or they keep talking long after the group has walked away. Science tells us ADHD kids often struggle with social working memory and mirror neuron function. They're not ignoring cues, they're missing them entirely. Pro tip, play social detective with them. Pause movies and decode characters' body language. Practice the 3 looks, face, body, and voice tone. Fourth on our list is a big one, rejection sensitivity, RSD. A furrowed brow, someone saying, "Not right now," and your kid is spiraling. Cue meltdown. That's not drama. It's rejection sensitivity dysphoria. The science, RSD is tied to emotional pain centers being hypersensitive in ADHD brains. Rejection doesn't sting, it absolutely scorches. So what can we do? Use reframe cards that give alternate explanations. Maybe they were just tired, or maybe they didn't hear you. I'll give you guys a little story time. My kiddo loves to play video games with one particular friend. And selfishly, he doesn't want to share this one friend with his other best friend. So whenever the two of them are playing video games, he assumes that they won't let him in. We had this conversation one morning when he said, I want to play with blank, but they're playing with blank. Okay, cool. What does that mean? That means that they won't let me play. All right, let's pause and see if that's really true. Have you asked to join? No, I just know that they won't let me. But did you ask? No. Okay, well, let's ask and see what happens. For the next hour or so, they played video games. All three of them had an amazing time, and my son got a wonderful reframe of something that didn't even happen. So just work with them on seeing what is actually true. Okay, mamas, real talk for a second. Parenting a neurodivergent kid isn't a Pinterest board. It's a wild, wonderful, overwhelming ride. And when your kid is melting down because their cereal is too loud, or you're crying in your car Googling how to raise a kid with ADHD without losing my damn mind, you need a pro in your corner. Enter Dr. Laura, licensed psychologist, board-certified telemental health provider, and actual unicorn. She provides virtual therapy in New York, Delaware, Virginia, and Florida. But get this, even if you're outside of those states, she's got some game-changing resources for every one of us. Her children's book, How Boppy the Beagle Learned to See the Sun Behind the Clouds, helps kids understand big feelings, getting help, and how a psychologist can support them, conversation starters included. Her Behavior Change Ahead audio course, 4 hours of science-backed guidance to help you change behaviors, yours, your kids, or both, because spoiler alert, when we shift, they shift. And if college is on the horizon, her college suite of 10 workshops preps your neurodivergent teen and you for the emotional, social, and academic roller coaster. So if you're exhausted, but still here fighting for your kid, check out Dr. Laura in the show notes and grab the tools that you wish came with the diagnosis. 5 on our list is executive dysfunction. They forget the rules mid-game. They want to be included but don't know how to sequence what comes next. Science tells us executive function includes working memory, flexibility, and planning skills that are often underdeveloped by 30% in ADHD kiddos. Fun fact, I had a Facebook mom try to fight me over this claim even though it is totally true. So what can we do? Create a 1-page friendship game plan before hangouts. Include ways to say hi, games to suggest, and what to do if things get hard. Last up is super important, shame and masking. By 3rd grade, some kids start to mask, pretend to like things they don't, talk in ways they don't normally talk. It's pretty exhausting. Science tells us chronic masking is linked to higher anxiety and burnout. It's a survival strategy, but one with a great cost. What to do instead? Build demasking zones, places or times they can be truly themselves. Let them know authenticity is safe at home. Okay, let's drill down and really nerd out for a second. Delayed prefrontal cortex development. ADHD brains develop much more slowly in areas that control social judgment, impulse control, and emotional regulation. Interoception. These kids may not realize they're hungry, tired, or overstimulated. When your body's internal GPS is off, social stamina nosedives. Fun tip here, I've helped my child kind of try to realize when he is hungry by calling it hangry. You can do the same with tired or overstimulated. Mirror neurons. Empathy and social understanding live here. These neurons may function differently in our kiddos, making peer empathy much more difficult. Sensory processing challenges. Crowded, noisy play environments can send our kiddos into fight or flight. Prepare for the sensory load, not just the social script. Slow processing speed. They take longer to respond. Other kids fill in the silence and move on. Missed beat equals missed opportunity. All right, I know you bitches want to know what actually works. Here are some friendship tools to keep your summer on track. Social scripts. We can use index cards, pop culture characters, or Legos to rehearse, "Can I play?" or "I like your shirt." Friendship thermometers. Red equals too much. Yellow needs help. green just right. This helps track and regulate their energy. Pre-game plan. No, not that pre-game plan. We're going to create a playdate plan. Include conversation starters, game choices, and coping strategies. Next up, we're going to praise specifically. You waited your turn, and that shows respect. Use specific feedback to reinforce the behavior you want. Repair scripts. These are really important. Sorry I got so loud. Want to try again? Normalize mess-ups and model recovery. Matchmake strategy. Help them find their crew. Neurodivergent kids, gamer groups, robotics clubs. Role play. Act out what to do if someone says no, changes the rules, or leaves mid-game. Now I want to answer some listener questions. My kid wants friends but hides during playdates. Same girl. Start with quiet one-on-one activities. Scaffold. Make social time predictable. We also need to remember that anxiety often goes hand in hand with our kiddos' ADHD. So they want to play, they just don't know how to start to play. Question: should I tell other parents about my kid's ADHD? Yes, briefly and positively. He's super creative and may need help taking turns. Question: what if my kid only talks about one topic? Well, we can use a topic wheel with 3 or 4 choices. Teach conversational turn taking. I don't normally do this, but I wanted to give you some expert insights. So let's anchor this back to friendship and social group. Dr. Ross Green says kids do well if they can. Social struggles aren't willful, they're a skill gap. Collaborate to solve the problems, don't punish them. Dr. Mona Delahook, behavior is communication. The social meltdown, it's not bad manners, it's stress. Michelle Winter on social thinking, teach kids what to notice, not just what to say. Social learning is like decoding a puzzle. It definitely takes some guidance. And this one's for me. I want you guys to remember our job is not to engineer popularity. It's to create chances for authentic connections. Is your next step on the ADHD parenting journey treatment, but you're feeling a little apprehensive? You, my friend, are not alone. So many of us want options that are science-backed and parent-approved. Meet Dr. Richard Bowles, geneticist, ADHD dad, and creator of NeuroNeeds. When his own son was struggling, he created a powerful, all-natural supplement that helped his son get off stimulant meds completely and thrive all the way to college. It's called NeuroNeeds, and it's packed with exactly what ADHD brains need to function, focus, and regulate without the side effects. If you're curious, hit the link in the show notes to check it out. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter while you're there, because right now, NeuroNeeds is doing us a solid by giving away a free brain bundle, and all you have to do to be considered is to sign up for the newsletter. Because you deserve science you can trust and support you can feel. Okay, story time. I once faked a cold to cancel a playdate because I could not handle another emotional spiral. The fear, the judgment, the awkwardness, it's all real, my friend. But the next week, we tried again, and that led to a friend. Not perfect, but real. So I want you guys to repeat after me. I am raising a child who sees the world differently. Their quirks are not flaws, they're fingerprints. That's it for this week on Chaos and Caffeine. If this episode made you feel seen, I've got more where that came from. Sign up for the Unfiltered Mom newsletter in the show notes, and maybe leave us a review while you're there. But more importantly, I want you to share this with the mom that you see crying on the playground after a huge meltdown, followed by a parent meltdown. Until next week, keep the caffeine hot, the love louder, and the judgment in the trash where she belongs. I love you guys, and I mean it.